against the guys that beat New Life earlier on this morning. Anyway, I'll just leave it to you guys, because that was bad.
Athletico versus Aerowolf here, map number 3. The cards could fall either direction. You can see good luck, have fun. These guys are friends, honestly. These two teams, two sets of friends. There's a lot of respect here, mutual respect. A very amicable relationship between these guys, and well, Athletico also giving us a hard breach ban as we did on Bank. This time it's Thermite off the board. It's going to be a significant operator that is not available to either team. Aerowolf reply with a Lion ban just as they did on Bank as well. As for the defensive side, which Aerowolf will be starting upon, they get the first ban.
Yeah, and banning out Thermite, this is definitely aimed at the attempt to go for the breach into the garage point. I would say that Thermite is probably a much needed operator for Consulate compared to Hibana, even though that she has a way more flexible approach to most of the breaches. And with the defense coming up, I do feel, oh, never mind, the Valkyrie, I was just about to say Echo could be taken out by Aerowolf, but Valkyrie this time, this is centered just at Todd because he was able to perform some amazing clutches, but at the same time, this is also could be potentially a shot in the foot for Aerowolf, as they did go for some of the Valkyrie plays themselves as well.
Yeah, we've seen Intel really be the name of the game on Bank, and here I would say on Consulate, Valkyrie is an even more potent operator. Aerowolf have just a few more seconds to lock in their, Athletico have a couple more seconds to lock in their final operator ban, and as we see, it will be the Mirror. That makes a lot of sense. Can't be too surprised about that one. As I mentioned, half of the matches in the Pro League played out by Athletico, they did ban Mirror, and no doubt some of the other matches they played, Mirror was banned by the other team, so that statistic is a little bit skewed. Perhaps, I feel like Aerowolf starting out on the attack, perhaps they have what's coming. Oh my goodness, are we really going to see a Blackbeard from Luna Metal?
I think that's a bait. I think that's a bait, Dev, and I do feel that Luna might actually bring out the Montagne because he's still a very potent operator on Consulate. At least I
feel like the Blackbeard is typically more mainstream on Consulate compared to the Montagne, but that said, Blackbeard is not something that typically Athletico want to deal with in the Pro League season. Despite them having a great Blackbeard player on Ethan, he has switched on to other operators more recently, and Athletico have tended to ban Blackbeard in 28% of their matches. But Aerowolf, as you mentioned, it was a bait, and Luna Metal going to be playing the Ashe.
Yeah, but because knowing Aerowolf, they barely did pick Blackbeard, as far as I remember, during the Pro League. And even when they did, it was not exactly the most, the brightest performance from them. And Athletico know that. They barely did take that bait. And bringing out Todd on Pulse, probably the closest potentially pick for them that is closer to Valkyrie in regards to the info gathering.
Top floor defense first up for Athletico on the blue side. And a lot of intel gathering across the board. As we mentioned, that's been really a cornerstone of the wins for either team, especially bringing up this Maestro and the Echo. Also, I'd be interested to see how the Pulse gets utilized. I've seen a lot of Korean teams really favor the Pulse on this map and use it to incredibly strong effect as well. Now, moving forward, Revik going to be switching on to the Hibana instead of his more traditional Thermite, as his preference operator has been banned. But Athletico starting on the top floor. It's going to force Aerowolf to choose how they will take this objective.
Indeed. Now, Ysera making his way over to the admin office. He could actually get a very good amount of peeks from there, as Array gets himself tagged out from the Visa stairs. From the Visa entrance, as he just uses his flashbangs to just chew through those ADSs, where that would allow Ysera to go for a couple of throws in as soon as he will drone it out, because right now admin is about to get pushed very quickly. Frag grenade is just about to be cooked, as Ysera just points out where one of the defenders could be. The issue right now, though, is that that Jaeger, played by Imarin, is very much a vulnerable player because there's nobody else to cover him.
Yeah, and obviously the main way to take him out would be using a grenade, as Ysera does have prep, but no doubt he's going to be protecting himself with Jaeger devices. That said, it's not enough, as the Jaeger devices get baited out by flash grenades, and Ysera not only takes down Emo-Rin with that grenade, but also one of Derpe's Echo drones. An incredibly successful play from Ysera, and Aerowolf now have control of admin.
Indeed. Now, with the full control of admin, that will be a very good stepping stone right now for Aerowolf's push. But they also managed to lose Hysterics, who did not, I believe, use any of his utility as Zofia. So that would also be a very, I'd say, a substantial pick for Athletico to be able to out one of the soft breaches. But Aerowolf still has two of the soft breaches in face of Ash and Buck. And from there on, it's pretty much just a standard push at this point.
Looking to flush out the positions inside of A. Aerowolf using their Hibana charges, and Todd incredibly lucky on that C4. Not gonna lie, he probably shouldn't have gotten that, but he managed to take down Revik, but not before Revik utilizes most of his utility. So Todd getting a freebie on that one. Aerowolf now one man at a disadvantage.
Indeed. One man disadvantage, but with Hibana, I do believe she managed to pop it open, yeah, so they would have still a fair few angles to play from for the attack, but certainly Athletico would be able to set up a couple of angles. Lunar already keeping an eye out on that double window, and at just nearly the right moment, he nearly loses his health. The push out for Ethan, what a play, as he manages to get his kill onto Lunar Metal, and Todd, basing off that, manages to get a kill on Array, and Derpe at the end securing the last kill. What a play from Athletico as they're securing the first round for themselves. That is a good start. They are feeling still refreshed. They got their minds back up still from that bank loss, and right now they need to get the stuff rolling for themselves if they want to secure that spot.
Just look at them go. They're talking there. The level of communication from Athletico really, to me, seems very impressive. It's not just one or two players constantly talking. The entire team gets involved in these discussions, and they're always workshopping these ideas. Same can be said right now for Aerowolf. You can see they're discussing these operator picks. They're choosing, okay, how are we going to take this one? We know it can't be top floor bomb site, as Athletico have just won that. Now we're going to be moving on most likely to the garage, as the garage is probably the most best site to defend if you see Thermite banned, which in this case is so.
This will be actually very comfortable right now positioning for Athletico, because since Thermite is out, Aerowolf cannot pop big holes in the entrance to the garage, so therefore they will be funneled through a much smaller hole that Hibana would do, meaning much more leverage right now for Athletico. But at the same time, if Aerowolf manages to play it out and get a good peek, that would be going a completely different way. But this is not a garage peek. I mean, the garage defense. This will be a front lobby.
Yeah, so that was the other thing we didn't manage to glean during the picking phase. But yeah, Athletico. So instead of going downstairs, which would, as I had analyzed, be the most predictable, instead they're going and taking us to lobby. So a nice little maybe a bit of a surprise for Aerowolf, but hopefully Aerowolf do the utility that they would bring onto this attack. Anyway, top floor tends to be one of the most important pieces of ground to take on this bomb site, and Aerowolf, no doubt, are going to be starting top down.
Indeed, and with that in mind, though, Aerowolf splitting their push from the west side and east side, and right now for them, what they do need, at least how I feel they need to go for, is take full control of upstairs, go for the push both on admin and the console office, and from there they might be able to actually succeed in their attack, because the moment they will split the defense of Athletico by defending two fronts, that's where they can actually get that sweet dub. What do you reckon?
Pushing in down, yeah, well, I definitely agree. I mean, they are doing that split kind of push at the moment with Lunar Metal pushing in from the basement. He's preparing to drone himself in and play solo, but I like this. So a lot of people would say, look, he's droning himself in, he's playing solo, but honestly, they are playing in conjunction with one another. It's deciding that certain elements and players of your team have different roles. So Lunar Metal's job is to go in solo and from there push in forwards. Look at this great teamwork as well.
If that would have worked out, that would have been something just epic.
Not quite sure why they were insisting on pushing into the break room though, as I don't believe there was a player in there. Todd going for another C4. This one not so lucky. Lunar Metal takes him a moment to take down Todd, but eventually he does it. However, Emo-Rin is quick to refrag that kill.
Yeah, and Imoren managing to already rotate back to the desk, avoiding Ysera's aim. That would be actually a very good point right now, because outing the 3-speed Ash is a good start for Athletico to out the Fragger in the face of Lunametal.
That said, though, Lunametal being the key brains behind the operation, he now can just sit passively behind, watch drones, and call out for his team. Ethan, though, going down, he's a player known to be very lethal with a gun in his hands. Silex finds one. Hysterix pushing in, pre-firing through the wall, doesn't net any kills as of yet. 3 versus 3, 1 minute to go. Still a lot of time for Aerowolf to play with.
Indeed. Silex using his gas grenade to be able to get a peek. Ooh, nearly claims Hysterix's head, but he is being pressured away from that point. But that is still a very good performance. 3v3 situation, and Athletico managed to waste a fair bit of time. Ysera will be falling back downstairs to see if he can get some closure, and he might actually run into one of the defenders if he's not going to be careful.
Oh my god,
no!
Where was the call out from the defender on that camera? Should have called out. Dirtbear is right next to you, but no. Ysera gets a free kill. Only 2 players left for Athletico. They have defaulted back to the bomb site, and Aerowolf deciding now that they have control of the top floor. How will they push into this main lobby and get the plant going? 19 seconds to go. Revik starts pushing into the main lobby. He's in a great position to get this plant down, but Silex using his last gas babe tries to deny it. The ping's coming out onto the planting player. There needs to be cover right now. Imorin's not going to be able to deny this in all likelihood with his utility. Hysterix has to cover and he gets both kills. Just like that, Aerowolf. There you go.
Yeah, there we go indeed, and Aerowolf with a very good performance so far, managing to get that cover going, managing to secure the kills, and I'm very much confused how was that allowed to have Derpe get killed like that. There was no call out, no even not even potential attempt to get any info going for that bug, and he just managed to claim that very quickly. And I feel that outing Derpe just like that was essentially what sealed the deal at the end of that round.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising on how that free kill managed to come about. Ysera taking down the Echo on the spiral stairs, but I don't know, that's sometimes just little mishaps that lead to entire rounds in some cases.
Indeed. With that in mind, though, Lunar actually swapping over from the Ash to IQ. Still a 3-speed operator, still a very viable and a very potent operator, but this time they will be going in for that counter of the plays because they do have Imorin's goo mines, they have Derpe's echo drones. They need to rid them of that info gathering. They need to rid them of any of that utility, because Athletico right now definitely depending on that very heavily.
Yeah, and of course Todd as well has been doing some good work with his pulse scanner, and maybe allowing Lunametal to just have some freedom to track down that pulse and call out his position, perhaps even just hunt him down and find that early kill, would be very successful for Aerowolf. So I do like this choice of switching over. However, on the defensive side, Ethan placing his Maestro devices inside of the main lobby will deny the plant that Aerowolf did manage to glean last round. And there's not as much devices, utility I should say, on the Aerowolf side to counter.
Indeed. But I do feel that right now Aerowolf's push might actually be much more successful, as Athletico are on a bit of a more vulnerable side to me. At least that it feels like that. And Lunametal actually might track. Lunametal does go for the track. There goes the C4. He does manage to dodge it very quickly and might be actually even using it. But no, he will be losing the side of that pulse. And managing to scare off Todd very quickly as well.
I'm a bit disappointed that Lunametal didn't actually try and go for the kill there. Instead, he tried to bait out the C4, which worked successfully, but I feel like he maybe could have bitten off a little bit more from that carrot.
He could have. But at the same time, Athletico allowing the full control of admin just like that, very early through the round. Only 1 minute wasted. And Lunametal pushing up very quickly as well. I don't think Athletico are expecting him just yet. What do you reckon?
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of intel for Athletico to call out this push, and we can see Derpe on the Echo drones once again being the defining factor in this intel game. Lunametal really has to be using his utilities to specifically locate and find these Echo drones, and there's one just around the corner from him. Surely he should be finding this with his scanner, and here we go. It comes out, and he... What?
I don't think he noticed it. Oh,
come on, bro. He finally spots out one of them, but doesn't get the shot down. And there is another Echo drone nearby. He finally spots out, but he doesn't look at it or take it down. That's
he's still waiting for that reset of that debuff. Meanwhile, Ysera and Revik already started the push in with Lunametal just droning up ahead. They do know what is happening, but meanwhile, Athletico roster managed to default back onto the side with wasting 2 minutes, which is still a very good job.
Yeah.
Todd this time, he does keep an eye out on that spiral, because last time that was essentially the downfall of their support, which they do definitely need. Derby picks up the first kill of the round with 50 seconds left. And that is actually outing Hysterics, who I don't think he used that much of his utility again.
Yeah, and Hysterics has been an impact player, obviously clutching out last round, saving the planter. Todd in such a strong position, but is Aerowolf watching? Well, Lunametal surely isn't, and now Emarin as well as Todd are ready for this flank. Emarin has to deal with this Claymore, which is going to give a lot of noise off to forewarn his position to the Aerowolf players. When is Emarin going to go for this play? Todd finds another kill. This shouldn't be allowed to happen. Emarin going for this flank. He finds Ysera, and he gets the last 2 kills. Just like that, Athletico, another round on the board for themselves. A great round showing from Emarin and Todd in the pair.
That is a very calculated play from Emarin. He knew that both of the final players from Aerowolf were there on upstairs, and he managed to just pull off exactly what Athletico needed. 2-1 so far, and it still feels like a kind of a bounce-back game. Neither of the teams seem to be kind of dominant within Consulate, and it feels like just that perfect middle ground.
Just trading rounds so far, but Aerowolf have been good at holding the bomb site. They've been good at holding their ground when pushing and making their pushes work. And that said, Athletico have been good at adapting. So they lost their first lobby and then figured out what they needed to do on their defense to win the next time round. Now we're likely going to head back to Console Office. That's the 3rd floor, which is the first bomb site that Athletico did manage to win. Let's see if Aerowolf can make the adaptations necessary to win as we head back up to Console Office.
Interestingly enough, Array actually brings out the glass over to the for the defense. So it might be potentially actually a push over to B side for Aerowolf. With that in mind, though, they still could be pushing and applying a lot of pressure to the admin. So bring over 2 players over to the west windows of B, get 3 players to push the admin, and you pretty much sorted on that plan. But I'm rather curious, how will Athletico adapt to it?
I like this use of Castle from Todd, getting rid of the pulse finally, perhaps thinking, all right, well, I've used that trick quite a few times and I don't think it's going to keep working, but what I would like to do is bring some more utilities, slow them down. And thus, the Castle was brought along. Lunametal's still running this Asher. He got rid of the IQ. I don't know about this. I don't know. I'm a bit dubious on the pick of the Ash and just overall Lunametal's roles that he has been playing, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that I probably just don't understand the extent of the strategies that Aerowolf have been employing, and I'll just try and learn about them as we continue to watch.
Indeed. Now, Depe actually sitting, still not on his yokai drone, but just waiting for a good time to peek out. He's still got those 2 spots. Lunametal already, no wait, never mind, that was
look at that.
Up. Oh, Depe losing his first Echo drone. That is not the best case scenario right now for him, as the info gathering just got lesser by a fair bit.
And now preparing to open up into the bomb site, Revik is making a lot of holes. Now, the thing that really stilted Aerowolf's push in the previous times was the fact that, well, they did open up all these holes into the bomb site, and then they just kept getting peaked from the west side. Players like Ethan on the Maestro just kept abusing them. Now, Ysera starting to push into the bomb site, destroying some of this barbed wire and other utility that Athletico have prepared. Aerowolf setting up for their final pressure into the bomb site.
This could very much be a very quick execution by Aerowolf, but I do feel that Athletico have a backup plan for that. And with that in mind, though, Ysera might catch Derpy off guard, because he is the only one so far defending A. He did get spotted by their drone, and I don't think he will be bringing over his yokai drone over to A side as well. And look at this, also crossfire, potential crossfire set up by Aerowolf. Lunametal managing to find the location of that Maestro. And Ethan...
A-dash, I agree. Derpef finds one kill with a headshot. Array peeking in. Prone through the smoke, wants to find a kill, but he may well be stuck here, unable to walk into the bomb site. Smoke coverage going to allow him to peek even more aggressively, and just look at the way that that has been denied. Entry into the bomb site, but Array finds a kill nonetheless. Luna Metal also one on to Ethan as well. Athletico falling to pieces as Aerowolf only have 20 seconds to make this happen, and this Echo drone now taken down was the thing that was needed to prevent this plant. Todd though taken down. Derpef finds one onto Array. Derpef finally taken down. It's all up to Imarin, 1 versus 3. Aerowolf looking like they will take this round. Not much for Imarin to do. He finds one player, but doesn't manage to secure a kill. Where is this plant going down? Imarin could deny it. Oh my god! But finally, the attackers just managed to get the plant down and kill Imarin just in time, and we trade back another round. Aerowolf with the adaptations necessary to win console.
Indeed. And that is, we're moving on to the final round of the first half. Athletico not just getting there just yet. They need to get that at least a round advantage going for them going into the second half, because last time we saw at the moment Aerowolf managed to get that round advantage from the first half. They were able to dominate the first part of the second half, and I feel this could be the repetition of that story as well. So if that is the case, then Athletico have a very long road ahead of them to see if they can clutch this up, if they can win these firefights.
One more round for Athletico to attempt their defensive side. Aerowolf going to be changing things up, bringing a Thatcher this time. I do like that. The only, of course, downside of bringing a Thatcher instead of the Ash, well, the main downside, I would say, is the speed. For Luna's playstyle that he has been going for, being this kind of solo entry, intel gatherer slash pincer player, that speed, that 3 speed is really important. But now Athletico deciding for the first time in this matchup going to be defending the downstairs garage, something that we mentioned is fairly important, and no doubt the reason why Athletico did ban out Thermite. Seems strange to me that they would only choose to defend this once, as they would have had the opportunity to defend this previous times. But at Aerowolf on the flip side, they looking pretty well poised to take this.
Indeed. Garage actually will be the first time that we will be seeing the defense from Athletico on the downstairs. I do very much think that Athletico might have a very good chance at this, but Luna Metal will be defending with the... We did see before Athletico bringing in IQ and face off Ethan, and if Ethan will continue his good streak with the IQ, he would definitely be able to carry his team essentially to the win.
We are going to see the mute being played, something that has been really distinctive of this Consulate basement. Not necessarily all the time, but it's a great strategy I've always really adored. The first time I ever saw it was from Falco, who played for G2, then at the time known as Penta, a very long time ago. This was Year 2, Season 1. So Season 4 of the Rainbow Six Pro League in the grand final against Team Liquid, then known as Black Dragons. And really great strategies of all the places that you can put down mute jammers in the basement on various objects that do jam through the floor and prevent drones from looking through and moving through the middle floor. I'll be interested to see if that's what we're going to see come out from Ethan. I sure hope so.
Indeed. With that in mind, though, so Garage defense, the one that we've already managed to deconstruct so many times, we flexed as much knowledge as we could sanely can. And with that, though, Athletico going for a whole lot of reinforcements. I don't think they will be actually going for that play from above in the bathroom. And this feels like a full-on hunkered down. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, Dev.
It's starting to look mostly like a, you know, for the most part, most players are just going to be hunkering down, turtling on site, but a couple of stray players ready to be mobile and move around. Players such as Todd, who's back on his pulse. We've seen him a lot on the pulse. In fact, I feel like I've seen a lot of pulse on Consulate in recent times. I've seen the Korean seeding match just last night, and there was a lot from both New Life and Mantis on this map. And well, I think it's a great way to kind of compensate for the Valkyrie, which has been banned out by Aerowolf.
Indeed. Now, though, I do want to point out how quickly Ysera just busted into the admin Aerowolf will be given full control of the upstairs, and it feels to me that they full control of the ground floor as well, as Hysterics and Revek are the ones droning up ahead for Ysera and making sure that not a single spot has been missing. Interestingly enough, Athletico did not pose to go for that bathroom defense that you mentioned before, which I feel could be a bit of a hindrance for their defense.
Yeah, well, I think it's really gonna, this round rather, is gonna hinge on whether Athletico can have a successful flank, because Aerowolf in theory should be in a great position to take this round by just dissecting the bomb site. They have a buck to open up all of the floor, and Ysera no doubt going to be using that skeleton key to do just that very shortly.
That is true. Now, at the moment, they're a bit stuck. They don't know how to approach properly. They are waiting for potentially even the yokai drone to come around, because they do know how kind of aggressive the Echo does play sometimes. But at the moment, those yokai drones will be gathering a whole lot of information just yet. Ysera is starting to finally pop up on the flooring just to see if he can find some angles, but I don't think there is any of the defenders around the garage area. Most of them are close by to the kitchen or the CCTV.
Yeah, interesting the way that they're having some solo pushing of the east side as well. The angle is being generated by Ysera, but he's also being stunned out by Derpez, Yokai drone. A lot of players on the defensive side also hiding around the east side. Finally, the wall of garage is opened up. No picks, though, from Aerowolf, and that's one of the key elements of this push. You have to find picks. Only 25 seconds to go. Ethan's still allowed to play aggressively at the garage. Derpe just harassing the players upstairs as Todd decides to start his flank. Where is the push from Aerowolf? 15 seconds. They're just going to sprint right on in there. Luna Metal with the diffuser. What's happening right now? Ethan finds one kill and now peeking with the pistol. Array attempts to find one. Luna Metal has to get this plant going, but Array gets taken down by Ethan. Ethan finally goes down. Is the plant going to come out? It's all up to Ysera to protect his teammate, but no, Athletico are right there, and Derpe disrupts that plant with the Echo drone. A great clutch to the round from Derpe, but honestly, what is happening, Aerowolf?
Yeah, Aerowolf were not ready for that push. They wasted way too much time. They were not sure about what was happening, and they were very much depending on the fact that they would have initially that man advantage, but that did not work out quite well. And now Athletico moving into the offense, bringing in just about the same setup that we saw, I believe, on the first map, with bringing in the IQ on Ethan and Dokkaebi as well.
Yeah, Dokkaebi's a nice operator, you know. Got a lot of utility and, of course, the smoke, so, you know, not too surprised to see them bringing that out.
Indeed. But then again, Hysterics swaps over from a Jaeger, a very frag-heavy operator, to a Mute, who would be able to deny a fair bit of information, and Revek also brings over an Echo to get some info rolling for Aerowolf as well. But I do strongly think that Aerowolf are lacking on that info gathering game.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the Pulse and the Echo, which is pretty much all they could get, other than maybe a Maestro, a Legion, because Valkyrie obviously banned out. I think I'd say they have a pretty much equal intel gathering to what Athletico had, but the key thing for me is Aerowolf are going to be doing this bathroom hold, and in fact they will have mutes to assist them. Seen Ysera do this before. He plays inside of the bathroom with Ella, an incredibly proficient close quarters operator, as we all know. One of the best weapons, two of the best weapons, I would say, on the defense for close quarters. Not only the Scorpion Evo as an SMG, but of course the FO12 that we saw earlier on Bank.
Oh yeah, FO12 just demolishes anyone in the close range, and we saw that to be proven very numerous amount of times. Luna Metal already is spotting some of the push. It might actually catch some of the defenders, some of the attackers off guard with with his C4, but I'm quite curious how could it be played out. The C4 could very much land very nicely. Here comes the C4. He tries to recollect it, nearly loses his head, but oh no, come on, man.
Luna.
He can do it. The second attempt is being thrown, and at this point, Lunar will be just playing slightly more careful. He just needs to keep gathering that information. Oh, here comes the second attempt. Could he nail? He does nail
Luna!
it onto Emorin. Very nicely done. An outing buck just like that. The infamous, the OG Emorin with the buck C8 will be gone and out within the first minute.
Emorin was trying to throw grenades right back at him. It was a game of who can throw the hardest, Athletico or Aerowolf, and it looks like Lunametal won that battle.
Yeah, that was not the brightest performance from both of the players within this round so far, but at least for Lunametal, he still has the time for redemption to get some more kills.
And I love noting that Ysera is using that FO12 shotgun inside of the bathroom. If I'm Athletico at the moment, I'm not even going to try and push this. You have no intel, you have no frag grenades now on account of Emorin being taken out. And, well, that FO12 is so difficult to come up against in close quarters unless you have something like a blitz. And even then,
the FO12 is a very hard weapon to deal against. Interestingly enough, those Hibana charges didn't explode altogether, which is quite odd, but...
Mute jammers.
Yeah.
Ysera now deciding, all right, so they're not going to push me in bathroom. I can't bait them into giving me kills there, so I'm going to play on the yellow stairs. Though I would expect Ysera would be able to do the most damage. She plays inside of piano and opens up floors above the main holes into the bomb site. He also is in a good position to poise and flank onto... Oh my... The plant's going down right now, and Aerowolf don't even know about it. Is this going to be a free plant for Silex? In fact, it is. And now the Hibana is still allowed to play inside. Erase spots him out and managed to get the hipfire headshot, but Dirtbear trades back onto Lunametal. 3 players left for Aerowolf, the numbers advantage, but a disadvantageous position. It's all 1 versus 3 now for Dirtbear with the SMG-12. He finds 20 minutes left, but Array with the SMG-11 proves that, oh my goodness, Smoke is still a very potent fragger, even with the nerf to his SMG-11. Congratulations, Aerowolf. That was a great round. Evening it up, 3-3.
3-3 indeed, and like that, we did talk when Aerowolf going on defense, would it be an advantage for them? I do think that it will be, well, now I've probably changed my opinion a little bit more. Aerowolf do seem to be a bit more confident, even though they've let that plant to go down. They didn't manage to perform quite well. They managed to retake the side. They managed to get that and get the kills rolling. And unfortunately for Derpy, he wasn't able to nail those shots with his SMG-12, which could have worked.
It's a big ask in a 1 versus 3.
Oh yeah.
No matter what weapon you've got.
But he did have the element of surprise to the point where, well, not the element of surprise. He did have the funneling point where he could peek from a very narrow angle and would have the advantage.
Yeah, still potentially worried about runouts and other kinds of plays. But now moving on to the next defensive round for Aerowolf. The LR is teased out, and instead Array decides to go with the Alibi. An operator, we've seen him, he played very well on Bank.
Pretty sure that was Hysterics.
Yeah, you're right, it was Hysterics. So we have seen some good Alibi plays from Aerowolf. This time Array is going to be the one to spearhead that. In fact, we've got 2 of the Parabellum operators on Aerowolf. We've got the Alibi and the Maestro. Nice to see our Italian operators getting some chance to shine, as we don't often see both of them brought along. And now defending the top floor, Aerowolf, it's a big ask for them. We did see Athletico win on their top floor defense the first time they attempted it, but the second time around, Aerowolf won the attack. Now Aerowolf want to break away, and for the first time in this match, get 1 round up on their opponents. First time in this map, I should say.
Yeah, and this would be a prime time for them right now at the moment as well, because this is a very back and forth play out. Both teams showing that they can perform both on attack and defense, and Athletico will need to prove right now that they can pull off some plays on their offense as well, because so far their first offense round did not work out that well. Especially with them being able to deny, well, unable to deny the retake. That was their downfall. So right now, bigger question is, can they get back to fragging? Can they allow Ethan, Emo, and Todd to get back to frags, or whether Aerowolf will be able to just hunker down and get the late flanks going and wipe out Athletico? That is a nice peek right now, and the first kill of the round will be going to Todd, outing Hysterics, the Jaeger of Aerowolf right now.
And Emorin's also managed to maintain control, or establish control, I should say, of the admin office, pushing inside, opening up the hatch to prevent flanks through Visa Office. A good start for Athletico into this push, establishing some control of the map, which is something that's very difficult to do on Consulate a lot of the time. And they managed to get a pick out of it as well in only a minute, so looking very good for them. A great reinforcement, good smart choice by Athletico to reinforce that, but Silex is perfectly happy to utilize some of his very limited utility on that wall.
Indeed. Now, for Ethan, right now, he has a challenge of being needing to wipe one of the roamers in face of Array, being on Alibi, who has a very potent combination of the Bailiff and the MX4. Two guns that can deal a lot of damage up close and on a fair bit of distance. But can Ethan read into that play? Because he does have his drone coming up, and I don't think he droned far enough, so he will be able to jump in. Oh, he just speeds right through it. He would completely ignore Array, which could be the downfall of him as well.
That said, Ethan managing to push up. If he goes for a spiral stairs, there's going to be a lot of good pincering potential from Athletico, and Array will be the man to make a play and clutch, on a flank. But he actually gets straight back into the bomb site, interestingly enough.
But he manages to down Todd, which could be problematic. But Todd managed to get out at just the right moment, so he will be able to get picked up. And Lunametal holding a very long angle onto that doorway. Oh, manages to tag up one of the attackers, that being Ethan. But a 5v3 situation is still very much clutchable. Oh, the run-in by Silex will be dropping the diffuser right on site. This is not good. 17 seconds on the clock, and it is not looking that well. 15 seconds to go, and Array holding a very tight angle, very heavily.
Oh, no.
Manages to pick up a double kill on the derpy, but Ethan gets out. Oh my lord! The 4K onto Array. What was that? He just completely demolished the push. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Shut down and out. Goodbye. Athletico is down on that round. What was that, Dev? That is...
Array has honestly been showing up so well for Aerowolf, the newest player in the roster, and really making a name for himself. Incredibly impressive. I feel like it's 3K, 4K, 4K, time and time again for Array on Aerowolf. Exactly what Aerowolf need now, and for the first time on console, they have broken ahead. They are one map up, and just on top of that, they are going to tease out this clash to threaten Athletico even more.
Yeah, right now, Clash will be a very problematic operator for Athletico to deal with, and this is exactly what Aerowolf need. But this time, they are bringing in, Ysera bringing in a Maestro instead of the Clash, and it feels that Athletico did fall for that bait. They decided to bring in the Capital, which can be very easily countered by the Evil Eye cameras who can see through that smoke. So this is definitely looking to be in favor of Aerowolf this round.
Yeah, well, Capital is a great operator, so I can't discredit Athletico too much for bringing that, but the thing that's really missing from the Athletico lineup is Hibana. No hard breach availability is going to make it very difficult to take top floor if Aerowolf reinforce the right walls. And in fact, the wall that Array right now is reinforcing upstairs into what some people call paper, some people call copy room. That is one of the key walls that Hibana should be opening up, and also the walls into the projector bomb site. It's not actually a bomb site. When the top floor the top floor projector room. It's not the bomb site, because we're in the middle floor, but you get what I mean.
Yes, I do indeed get what you mean. And right now for Athletico, they are in a bit of a disadvantage. Their previous round just got shut down very swiftly by Array, and I would feel slightly tilted from that, to be honest.
No doubt, Athletico really have to keep their mental composure in this position, because they've got to take... They're the ones who have to be in the driving seat right now. On the attacking side, you have to take the initiative. And if they allow themselves to just be baited, if they allow themselves to have their time wasted and Aerowolf be the flexible ones, then Athletico aren't going to look so good, and we're going to see the disparity between rounds of these two teams only increase.
With that in mind, though, Todd trying to get some closure to get something going, but Derby picks up the first kill of the round, outing Array, the big man himself, who did most of the work last round. And outing Castle at this point is not the best utility takeout, but at the same time, you still get the man advantage. Todd will be dropping in into the side, but I don't think there is anyone. Oh, but there is one looking over from the exit stairs, and Ysera, just nice waiting, nice trigger discipline, will be taking out Todd. Lunar takes out Depe as well, 3v4 just like that, and right now Imorin is in a very vulnerable position, because if they do continue to ignore that push, this will be the downfall of him. Ysera already managed to fall back, but Ethan already taking a point at the console front desk. So right now, for Athletico, they just need to keep holding the site, because they have the site, they can go for a plant, and this could be... Wait, never mind. I just realized.
No, yeah, side is middle floor.
Side is middle floor, that's right.
And we've got Hysterics in admin office in a great position to flank. Athletico don't have control of the objective just yet, and Aerowolf are playing smart. They've got some control of areas outside the objective, just waiting for Athletico to push on in so they can shoot them as they leave and attempt to plant. But Ethan and the rest of Athletico just trying to find some picks, because they know they can't be baited into trying to go for this plant just yet. They're not ready.
Yeah, they need at least one more frag to be able to consider it viable to go for that push. And but the time is running out. Time is running very quickly out. And Silex, though, manages to pick up a kill onto Lunar Metal, finally taking out the IGL of Aerowolf. But right now, there's still a fair bit to go. Revek is down as well with the grenade from Ethan. 24 seconds on the clock, and it feels that just about now we will be going into the push. Whoa! There's the play. Hysterics picks up a double kill. Now all up to Silex to try to clutch this up. Not the biggest fragger right now of Athletico, but the push needs to happen. He goes in for the pre-fire. No, not even pre-fire, as Hysterics will be taken out, scoring himself a triple kill at the end of the round. And Aerowolf on the match point. So right now, all they need to do is win one more round, and that is it. And so far, this looks like this will be the win by Aerowolf, because the defense for Aerowolf seems to be just uncontestable.
Aerowolf looking amazing right now, but on the flip side, the pressure is mounting for Athletico. They're going to take a tactical timeout to have a little bit of a chat with Chief and think what's going on. And look, Chief may not be their coach, but I'm good mates with Chief, and he's a very wise man. He knows what he's talking about a lot of the time, even just in terms of keeping these guys with their heads screwed on straight. And you can see them talking to him right now. I feel like just that reassuring voice in the back of the head can be something that will help Athletico, because last time Athletico took a tactical timeout, it's when they were down a couple rounds on Bank, and they spearheaded a comeback that almost took them the whole map.
Yeah. And right now, I feel that this is exactly what they need. But even looking at Aerowolf, they do keep up some of the talks and some chat. So they are also regrouping, rethinking their approach. Because right now, Athletico did take, yes, they did take that pause. They are reconsidering how are the Aerowolf playing. So they need to keep on rolling with that. They need to get that momentum back up. And we're just about to see whether this will be a successful one, because they are very close to losing it and being outed from this matchup.
There's nothing left for Athletico to do other than take this round. Aerowolf are on the verge of earning themselves a spot against Norengo in the semi-finals, but Athletico want that spot, and they want it so bad. They don't want to go out down here after winning the first map. Athletico need to pull out everything from their arsenal as they attempt to attack the downstairs garage. Once again, they shot themselves in the foot by banning Thermite and not even picking garage more than once, and now Aerowolf have the opportunity to go back down to that bomb site. Athletico are going to be dealing with Hamley having barely any hard breach compared to what they would much rather prefer.
With that in mind, though, Aerowolf will be setting up the very same angle that they did before. Hysterics will be playing on Bandit, which could mean that the Bandit tricking could be also in effect for Aerowolf. And if this happens, this could mean a whole lot of trouble right now for Athletico. And potentially a big win for Aerowolf after them nearly losing map 2.
No Maestro from Aerowolf once again. I expect we're going to see the exact same tried and tested hold that they did last time, likely Ysera playing inside of the bathroom once again, and well, it worked out pretty well for them. It did get a little bit close, but in the end of it, Athletico didn't have much to say about the push, and it's difficult read for Athletico at the moment. What can you say? You can't advise that they should hard push bathroom, because they're likely to lose against Ysera in their So what can they do? Ignore Bathroom? Well, it didn't work for them last time.
That is true. With that in mind, though, Hysterics actually won't be even attempting that bandit trick. He still does have that shockwire, though, but he will be pushed out straight away. The breach has happened, but now Athletico will be prompting to go for the upstairs push for some reason. They're deciding to grab control of the upstairs, and Todd picks up the first kill onto Array once again, outing the big fragger. But last time we did see, even with Array being down, the rest of Aerowolf were able to exceed the expectations and manage to pull it out.
1 minute off the board, and Athletico have the wall partially open, and they've got 1 kill, and especially onto the smoke player, who Array, has stepped up time and time again, as you mentioned. And now with just another kill going down onto Ysera, Athletico are looking very nice. Now with Bathroom control, they should be able to very comfortably repel into Piano, start doing some work, and flushing out these anchor positions. Only 3 left players for Aerowolf to hold on to this bomb site, and they have to do so for another minute, 20 seconds.
Indeed. But Hysterics now already on the late, fairly late flank. I'm very curious whether he would be able to achieve some of the frags, because right now he is in that prime position. I don't think any of the attackers do know about that presence. He does get that small indicator of the grenade, but oh, he does expose a little bit of himself. That could have, which could have been quite bad for his roam. But no, he decides to just face himself.
Oh my
he
God.
could run into Imorin, but no, he will be completely ignoring it. He does get spotted though.
I think this is just the intel game.
Yeah.
Revit calling out using his echo drones, but there's not really much longer that Aerowolf can rely on that.
Revik very low on health as well, so if he goes down... Oh no, Hysterics finally manages to find the head of Imorin. Now he needs to find the closure. He does go for the pre-fire. Salix is still managing to... Oh boy. Still manages to go for the pre-fire. Oh, Hysterics manages to get it down as well on Todd.
Oh my
the diffuser is down! Ethan now being the last man standing. Revek is off his drone. 12 seconds on the clock, and he is on the flank. But no, Derby will be able to finally close it down. The Athletico are not going down just yet. They're still in the game. They're still going strong.
Against all odds, Athletico get 1 more round and take us closer to overtime, but I don't know if we'll get there because Aerowolf still looking very strong, and even with Athletico cementing themselves into such a strong position early in that round with 2 picks, Aerowolf looked like they could have stolen it away. Just little oversights from Athletico and great capitalization from players such as Hysterics on the Bandit.
Yeah, that play on Bandit was phenomenal, and if he would have been able to get the closure on yet another player of Athletico, that would have been it for the Australian team, and that will be the advance for Aerowolf. But no, we will be staying in for several more rounds, potentially. Todd bringing in a Thatcher for his push, which is a curious pick to me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a Thatcher from...
Never mind.
Oh, there you go.
Todd will be bringing in his Ash, whereas Ray busting out the Cap. Could be quite interesting.
I think most people would expect us to return to that garage site, as Aerowolf did originally win on it, but no, instead they're going to go to console office up the top floor. Atletico, I think they've read into this, so that Thatcher was them saying, look, we think you're going lobby, so we think you're going garage, and then switching on to a more, okay, I don't know, not necessarily more versatile, but more frag-centric operator that Todd believes he will find more useful on this top floor. He brings out the Ash. Yeah,
I actually think, yeah, that Aerowolf did kind of take the bait, but not really. Whereas Todd managed to read in onto Aerowolf's play. But to me, I do feel that this might be Aerowolf's round, Dev. No matter how hard the Athletico is trying, the side this time was very favorable in Aerowolf's side. And yeah.
Last time, Athletico have really struggled with just taking control of admin office. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't, and that's going to be step number 1 for them. Todd repelling on paper window, and no doubt Imorin once again repelling admin. Trying to flash out anyone who was in there. Previously, we had some players from Aerowolf, I believe it was Hysterics in there, but no, not this time around. Instead, he's going to be playing out safe, and looks like admin office is free real estate for Athletico.
Yeah, and with that in mind, though, Salix will be droning up ahead for Derpy and Emo, who will be coming up to the admin office. And no contention actually is happening with the admin office, which could mean a fairly early start for the push for Athletico if they manage to secure some of the angles. The Hibana charges will be already coming out to potentially breach open the walls into A side, but no, that is... What was that, actually?
Yeah, well, Todd looking to push in from the paper side, opening up some walls as well, but Silex needs to open up some holes in this wall in order to really flush out these anchor positions. I'm not sure it's going to be doable, however. There are some utility from Aerowolf that could deny that, and we can hear that SMG-12 ringing from Derper. He's been a good player with it, but not sure it'll be enough to do the job in this scenario. Revik has gone down from Ethan. One player off the board for Aerowolf. Athletico don't have to deal with it anymore. That's the smokes down. Minute 10, Athletico looking pretty good, pretty well poised to take this. The question is, how are these late flanks going to come out?
The issue right now, oh, never mind, Imorin just picks up a kill onto Ysera. The issue right now is the fact that Luna has a very long angle onto side A, and Hysterics going in for another peek. Oh, Ethan picks up a kill onto Array. Hysterics is very low on health as well as Luna Metal. 2v5 situation. Ethan is low, but the rest of the Luna Metal picks up a nice kill, goes for a long angle, back up once again. He does know that there's people now on A side, but Hysterics with a nice play onto Silex will be outing him as well. He continues to wreak some more havoc potentially. 35 seconds on the clock, and the diffuser should be going down for a plant very soon. Hysterics still going for a couple of pre-fires. Atletico backed off. A nice flick by Luna Metal. The plant didn't go down as Derpy from the right side manages to get the kill. Now Hysterics he does manages to get the kill. What is happening? How is Atletico losing all of this? Ethan on a slither of health needs to reposition himself, but the plant might actually, the diffuser might start to get diffused.
Luna Metal knows that the most vulnerable position while he's defusing is going to be from admin office, but Ethan's not there. Hysterics is the man to hold it, and he does just that! Aerowolf are going to go to the semi-finals, and they win the match.
What a play. And well, congratulations first of all to Aerowolf. A very unlucky play for Atletico, as they did look quite confident with the way how it was all going down, but alas, that is it for Atletico.
Yeah, a heartbreaking loss there for Athletico as well. It looked like they were almost going to come back. It looked like they were always going to come back in the second map as well, but just not quite going to be able to get there in the end. And toward the end of things there, it really seemed like the pressure might have started to get to Athletico. A lot of situations that kind of turned into something that they probably should not have.
Strategically, Athletico had everything going for them in that round. They had the early picks, they had the smokes, the entry onto the bomb site, and then what happened is that Luna Metal just started peeking things. Luna Metal's not typically known as a fragger. He's the brains behind the operation, and yet he was stepping up with that Alda 5.56, finding frag after frag, and then it was a 2 versus X, bomb down, and it was Hysterics and Luna Metal to stand up, and look at them. There is so much respect and humility between these teams.
Yeah, you really got to give it to Aerowolf there as well. Obviously, they went down, I would say, fairly convincingly on Villa, a 6-3 result, but able to come back onto the second